Look at almost any impressive physique, and you'll notice something most people never consciously pay attention to. It isn't the chest. It isn't the abs. It isn't even the arms. It's what connects your hands to everything else. Forearms. You can hide your shoulders under a hoodie. You can cover your abs with a sweatshirt, but your forearms are almost always visible. They're one of the first things people notice when you shake someone's hand, carry something heavy, or simply roll up your sleeves. And here's the strange part. Thick forearms make your entire body look stronger, even if you aren't the biggest guy in the room. The problem is, a lot of people train for months, yet their forearms barely change. Maybe your wrists look tiny. Maybe your grip gives out before your bigger muscles do. Or maybe you've been doing curls and pull-ups, wondering why your lower arms still refuse to grow. If that sounds familiar, you're probably training the wrong muscles. Today I'll show you 6 simple exercises you can do at home to build thicker, stronger forearms. No gym, no expensive equipment, just a few movements that actually target the muscles most people ignore. But first, one quick myth. Your wrists won't get bigger. There's almost no muscle around the joint itself. The muscles that create thick-looking forearms sit just above it. Build those consistently and everything changes, which is why the very first exercise is also the one almost everyone overlooks. Exercise number 1, wrist curls. It isn't flashy. You won't see many people posting it on social media, but if your goal is thicker forearms, this is one of the best places to start. Grab a dumbbell, a backpack filled with books, or even a heavy water bottle. Sit down and rest your forearm on your thigh with your wrist hanging just past your knee. Let the weight drop slowly, then curl your wrist up as high as you can. Pause for a second. Lower it under control. That's 1 rep. Do 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps on each hand. One small mistake makes this exercise almost useless. People start moving their entire arm instead of just their wrist. Keep your forearm planted. Only your hand should move. At the top of every rep, squeeze as hard as you can before lowering the weight again. That extra second creates far more tension than simply rushing through the movement. Don't be surprised if the burn kicks in long before your muscles feel tired. These are smaller muscles, which means good form matters much more than heavy weight. After a few weeks, you'll probably notice something unexpected. Carrying grocery bags feels easier. Your grip lasts longer during pull-ups. Even holding a heavy backpack doesn't feel as exhausting as it used to. Now flip your hand over, because there's another side of your forearm that most people never train. Exercise number 2, reverse wrist curls. The setup stays exactly the same. The only difference is your palm now faces the floor. Lower the weight until you feel a stretch across the top of your forearm, then lift it back up under control. Again, only your wrist moves. Complete 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. If these feel weaker than the first exercise, that's completely normal. For most people, the muscles on top of the forearm are far less developed. And if you ignore them, your forearms never develop that thick, balanced look from every angle. Which brings us to something that decides whether your forearms actually grow or stay exactly the same month after month. Exercise number 3, hammer curls. This is the exercise that gives your forearms that thick, powerful look from the side. It targets the brachioradialis, a muscle most people never think about, even though it's one of the biggest contributors to impressive forearms. Grab 2 equal weights. Dumbbells are ideal, but a pair of water jugs or loaded shopping bags work just as well. Stand tall with your palms facing each other like you're holding 2 hammers. Curl the weight up. Pause for a second. Lower it slowly. No swinging, no leaning back. Just controlled reps from start to finish. Aim for 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. Here's something most people don't realize. A lot of the thickness you notice on strong-looking arms doesn't actually come from bigger biceps. It comes from this muscle. When it develops, your arms look fuller from almost every angle, especially when they're relaxed. Here's where most people stop making progress. They find a weight that's comfortable and never change it. Your muscles only grow when you give them a new challenge. That doesn't mean doubling the weight overnight. Sometimes adding 1 rep is enough, or slowing down the lowering phase, or picking up something just a little heavier next week. Those small improvements are exactly what separate people who look the same after 6 months from those who keep getting stronger. Now it's time to put the weights down, because the next exercise uses nothing but your own body weight. And it doesn't just build stronger forearms, it teaches your wrists to support your body the way they're supposed to, which is exactly why so many people underestimate it at first. Exercise number 4, close grip push-ups. Most people think this is only a triceps exercise. It isn't. Keeping your hands close together forces your wrists and forearms to stabilize your entire body throughout every rep. Place your hands just inside shoulder width, directly beneath your chest. Keep your body in a straight line. Lower yourself slowly. Pause for a second near the bottom. Then press back up. Do 3 sets, stopping 1 or 2 reps before your form breaks down. One mistake to avoid: don't let your elbows flare out. Keep them tucked close to your sides. You'll immediately feel more tension through your triceps and forearms. If your wrists feel uncomfortable at first, don't assume the exercise is bad. In most cases, people simply rush through the reps or dump all their body weight onto their hands. Slow everything down. You'll build strength much faster while putting less stress on your joints. Once these become easy, don't just add endless reps. Wear a backpack with a few books inside or elevate your feet to make each rep more challenging. Now for the exercise almost nobody talks about. At first it feels awkward. Then you realize just how much strength your wrists have been missing. Exercise number 5. Wrist roll push-ups. Start in a normal push-up position. As you lower yourself, gently roll your weight towards your fingers. As you push back up, roll your hands into their normal position again. Move slowly the entire time. Even 5 controlled reps can be enough when you're starting. The goal isn't speed, it's teaching your wrists to stay strong through the entire movement instead of relying on momentum. If your wrists feel weak here, don't worry. That's exactly why this movement works so well. And the final exercise might be the easiest one to fit into your day, because you can do it almost anywhere. Exercise number 6. Hand gripper squeezes. If you have a hand gripper, use it. If not, a tennis ball or any firm rubber ball works surprisingly well. Squeeze as hard as you can. Hold for 1 or 2 seconds. Then release slowly instead of letting your hand spring open. Do 3 sets to near failure with each hand. It looks simple until your grip starts giving out long before you expect it to. And that's exactly the point. The stronger your grip becomes, the more every other upper body exercise starts to feel different. Pull-ups become more controlled. Rows feel more secure. Even carrying heavy bags around the house becomes noticeably easier because your hands stop being the weak link. If you want one extra challenge, add a farmer's hold once a week. Grab the heaviest objects you can safely carry. Water jugs, loaded backpacks, heavy grocery bags. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, brace your core, then simply hold them. Don't walk around. Don't shrug your shoulders. Just hold the weight until your grip finally gives in. Start with 30 seconds. Next week, aim for 35, then 40. Those small improvements build incredible grip endurance over time. And here's the interesting part. Most people expect to notice bigger forearms first, but that's usually not what happens. The first changes are almost invisible. One day you open a tight jar without thinking about it. You carry all the grocery bags in one trip instead of setting them down halfway. You hang from a pull-up bar for a few extra seconds. A heavy suitcase suddenly feels easier to control. Even simple things like shaking someone's hand or carrying a backpack for a long walk start feeling different. Your grip just keeps going. And because those improvements happen gradually, you barely notice them yourself. Until one day you catch your reflection while washing your hands, or you roll up your sleeves on a warm afternoon, and something looks different. The muscles near your wrists have a little more shape. The lines along your forearms are easier to see. Your lower arms finally match the effort you've been putting into the rest of your body. What's funny is that other people often notice before you do. Someone asks if you've been working out more. Another person says your arms look stronger, even though you never focused on making your forearms bigger. You simply stopped ignoring them. Because once your grip gets stronger, every pull, every carry, every curl, and every row starts building on top of that foundation. And that's when your forearms stop looking like the weakest part of your physique and start looking like one of its biggest strengths.